Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Salem. And tonight our question comes to us from Aunt Sherm, who asks what my favorite tarot deck is. And you know, that's a very hard question to answer because there are so many wonderful tarot decks today that it's very hard to choose just one as your favorite. But the deck that I read with most commonly is this one, the Hoi Polloi. And this is actually the very first tarot deck I ever owned. For those who have never seen the Hoi Polloi, it's a variation on the Rider-Waite, and it was very popular in the mid-70s when it was rather widely marketed. And my late mother purchased this particular deck for me and gave it to me to learn to read tarot with. And I love the pictures, I enjoyed playing Tarot with her, and it took me a long time to actually enjoy reading tarot. So in a lot of ways the deck was given to me before I developed the interest. But the artwork did help to develop the interest. And I read with this deck on and off for many years, and I went on to other decks that became my favorite. The Morgan Greer was my favorite for a very long time, and is still one of my favorites. I also was very fond of the Arthurian Tarot for a while, and the Tarot of the Ages is one that I've quite enjoyed. But I came back to the Hoi Polloi, and I find that it's probably my favorite deck today. And that doesn't necessarily mean it will always be, but it is right now. And you know, I find it personally very interesting to see the very wide range of variations on tarot decks. And I personally think that's a very good thing. So you can see the Hoi Polloi has a very interesting style. It's very colorful and it's reminiscent of stained glass. Even though it doesn't look like stained glass, but it's reminiscent of it. And the illustrations are the same basic illustrations that you see in the Rider-Waite, but they've been redrawn and worked in a somewhat different style. And they're very, very nice. And personally, I enjoy both those kinds of tarot decks that follow more traditional forms and also those that do not. I have a wide range of tarot decks, many of which are currently on display here at the museum. Some of the other ones that I've really enjoyed as I've collected them over the years include the Ukiyo-e Tarot, which is a Japanese-themed tarot. And I also have a Chinese tarot, which I believe is simply called the Chinese Tarot, if I remember. The Ukiyo-e uses the artwork of a Ukiyo-e prince in a very beautiful tarot deck. And it is like more traditional tarot decks in that the minor arcana are not illustrated. Instead, you will see 4 swords for the 4 of swords, 3 coins for the 3 of coins, etc. But they do it very beautifully, and what I find particularly interesting about the Ukiyo-e deck is that they use the colors of the backgrounds, various plants, and other themes together with the groups of objects to create the emotional feel that the card is meant to convey, and it's very, very nicely done. And of course, there are thousands upon thousands of tarots. There's Miss Cleo's tarot, which we have here at the museum, and it's a little piece of history for those who remember Miss Cleo. And of course, one of the the 2 great tarot decks of the modern age are the Rider-Waite, also sometimes called the Waite-Smith, after the artist Pamela Coleman Smith, and also the Tarot of Thoth by Aleister Crowley and Lady Freda Harris. And these were the 2 definitive tarot decks of the 20th century, very different from one another, and both very beautiful in their own right. I also have read with the Thoth Tarot for a number of years. I don't particularly at this time because it's in the case in the back of the museum, but I love the artwork that Lady Freda Harris did. And I find the Thoth Tarot is very evocative in its own way. And of course, most modern tarots will tend to follow one of those 2. And then, of course, there are the older tarots, which are often very different. So anyway, these are some of my thoughts on tarot. And of course, I also have designed several tarot decks of my own. If you use the Witch School Auto Tarot program, which you can find on the main page of the social site, you will notice the little tarot deck that it uses is one that you'll never see elsewhere, or at least you don't see it elsewhere right now because I designed it, and it's actually interestingly enough, it's also one of my favorites, even though it exists only online. It's never been printed. but it's very stylized, and I created it. Actually, I created it to use to illustrate the tarot videos that we did, and I deliberately created something very simple because I thought that would make it easier to integrate into the video. But I rather like what it came out like. And then, of course, there's the Tarot of Hecate, which I created 25 years ago, give or take a little bit. And actually, I'm only just finishing the writing for a quarter century later. And it is a 100 card tarot, and therefore is somewhat different from your standard tarot, although it includes the same elements as a standard tarot, plus additional ones. And the major arcana from that is available in a downloadable book from witchschoolstore.com. The minor arcana will be available in the form of a downloadable book as well within a matter of days, because I'm working on the final chapters. So anyway, those are some of my thoughts on tarot. I hope that you have enjoyed it, and until next time, may you blessed be. But wait, don't forget our books, Witch School 1st, 2nd, and 3rd Degree, and also Living the Wiccan Life, and Ritual in Theory and Practice, available at a bookstore near you, or get them direct from us at www.witchschoolstore.com.